Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Digital Parent Podcast. On this episode, I want to go over the new Huffington Post article or HuffPost article that I was a part of back on March the 1st, entitled Five Apps That Should Terrify Every Parent. Five apps that should terrify every parent. And one of the reasons I reached out to my good friend and we put together this article because, it's been a while since we talked about dangerous apps. And there's some apps out there I just think you guys really need to know about. So in this episode, we're really just going to go over like these top five apps, give you a brief synopsis. You can get more information on the show notes at the Digital Parent Podcast. But I just want to let you, hear about these apps and let you know what I think about them. So the first app we're going to discuss is used to be called Yellow. It's called Yubo now, Yubo. It used to be called the Yellow app. The thing that I hate about the Yellow app is basically Tinder for kids. That's right, Tinder for kids. Just like with adults or young people, you can swipe left or swipe right to find a match and, contact that person. Yellow has the same features, except it's targeted to 13 and 17-year-olds. So our babies are using this app. Now, there was a lot of pressure on Yellow recently to the point that the app developers changed the name from Yellow to Yubo. So if you go to any of the Play stores, Google Play or if you go on Apple and look for it, you won't see Yellow, you'll see Yubo now. Because they had to rebrand the app because of all the negative publicity, and they put a lot of things in place. For example, they hired some type of internet safety consultant. They put in like some software to detect like fake profiles. You have to use your telephone number now in order to sign up for the app. All great, but remember, predators wasn't the issue. I'm not saying that there weren't predators on the site, but that wasn't the biggest issue. The biggest issue is teenagers hooking up with each other, having sex by using this app. And that still is an issue because kids can still create profiles. They can still search each other by geographical location. So in other words, if your child lives in a suburb of Atlanta, they put that suburb in, all the kids in that suburb will link up. They can contact each other, and all the kids know that this is their version of Tinder. So if your child has the Yubo app, formerly known as Yellow, on their phone, make sure that you're having a conversation about the use of that app. Now, the second app is SeraHi. Now, this app was basically designed for adults in the workforce. So basically, how it will work, if you felt really good about your coworker, want to give your coworker some type of encouragement, you would say something like, "Hey, Sarah, you did a great job. You're awesome. I love that report you did." Way to really, boost morale. The problem was that kids got a hold of this and it became a bullying app because it's so anonymous that anybody could say anything, and mostly kids were saying negative things. And unfortunately, not too long ago, a young girl committed suicide based off SeraHi. Some girls were teasing her, bullying her, cyberbullying her, and she killed herself. And the mom, what she did in response is that she got a petition of like almost 500,000 signatures to have the app removed for all app stores. And luckily for us as parents, she was successful in moving SeraHi. But the point about talking about this app is, one, it's still on a lot of kids' phones and it's still active, even though it's not in the App Store, the Google Store where you can download it. So we still need to discuss it. And second, there's going to be another copycat. Most of these developers just rebrand apps, put them back out. So you still need to be diligent and looking for these, what I call anonymous or honesty apps. And the thing with an honesty app is you can say whatever you can say anonymous. It's supposed to be for encouragement to tell people you love them or what they do well. But as you can see with SeraHi, other anonymous apps are what we call honesty apps. Kids who use them for cyberbullying is leading to deadly consequences. Now, the third app is really a website. Reddit is a super popular website, especially with millennials. It's like their go-to like news source. And the way Reddit works is it's a big website, but it has what you call subreddits. Those are like interest sites. So if you love skiing, you click on the skiing subreddit and you basically have a huge forum of ski enthusiasts talking about like everything related to skiing, whatever your passion is or your hobby. If it's boxing, there's multiple boxing Reddits. If it's, like blogging, there's blogging Reddits. Whatever your interest, there is a subreddit for it. which is basically a forum of like-minded people that are commenting on things that they like about their particular area of interest. Now, where it's dangerous is that these subreddits have a lot of not safe for work NSFW subreddits. Um, whatever your sexual preference is, there's a subreddit for it. Whatever your fetish is, there's a subreddit for it. And the only thing a kid or a teen has to do is just click when they go to the subreddit that they're 18 and they have instant porn on their cell phone. And this is not just instant pornography, this is curated pornography, right? Because there's a lot of Reddit fans. So what they do is, say, for example, if you're into like a certain type of porn, there's a subreddit for it, and then all the people who are a part of that subreddit, they are posting links to their favorite porn videos. So it's an easy way for a kid to go into the app, go to Reddit, go to the subreddit, find whatever pornography they're interested in, and get those links where they don't have to search. They don't have to search on the family computer, school computer. It's anonymous. It's a quick way for them to get to those sites. It's also a way for them to get to terrorist sites as well. There's been multiple situations of people being on Reddit using them for terrorism. Al-Qaeda, other groups have used subreddits to recruit kids from the U.S. Also, drug use is not something that's really big. There are a lot of subreddits teaching kids how to mail drugs to their house so they don't have to go out in the streets and purchase them. A lot of subreddits on a lot of dangerous things. So as a parent, if your kid's a big Reddit fan or using Reddit or using the app, you want to make sure you sit down and talk with them about the app, see what they're using it for, and see what subreddits they're a member of, because it could be into something that's very dangerous. And you look at some of the past school shooters, there have been evidence they were part of certain subreddits that talked about guns and shooting and massacres and things of that nature. So Reddit is one that you really need to look out for. Now, the fourth app that we want to talk about is Vora. Vora is what we call a fasting app. So it's not necessarily dangerous. It's dangerous in the fact that a lot of kids are starting to have like body images and, feeling bad about their body. And they're using these fasting apps to go on these fasts that their parents aren't aware about. Like one of the biggest things that blew up at the end of 2017 was the water fasting, where instead of eating, kids were just drinking water nonstop, and a lot of kids were becoming really sick. They were sharing things on Instagram. There were hashtags on Instagram about all these different fasting techniques. And I think the way Vora is set up is that you can compete with other people. And you can really, it's a way for you to track your fasting and your health. So, as a parent, if your kid has those body issues or have those insecurities and you see these fitness apps, you want to make sure that your kids are not like into any type of dangerous fasting, something that may hurt them. And the last app is Omegle, which is a live video streaming chat app that just strictly allow kids to talk with strangers, which is super, super dangerous. The app, the developer says it's a great way to meet new friends, but unfortunately, kids are using this to chat with each other late at night, to hook up with each other after school. So there's not a lot of parental controls. I really don't think there's no parental controls on this app. So Omegle is an app that you definitely need to check out on your kid's phone. And as always, I tell you guys, the best solution is to use your God-given internet safety capability, which are your eyes and your ears. Listen to what your kids are saying when they're in the car with you, when they're talking with their friends, and look at their body language. If they're on certain apps, if they are looking scared, or they're looking angry, or they're snickering, are they doing certain things? They're giving you some type of cue that something may not be safe. That's your sign to start investigating. And especially if your kids are in their room with the doors locked, or going to the bathroom with the doors locked on their phone. That's another red hot indicator. So this was a very quick podcast. I really hope you like, this show and the 5 apps that we discovered. We talked about and that we highlighted. As always, you can go to the Digital Parent Podcast and get more information. And also make sure when you go to the Digital Parent Podcast, check out our links for our new Social Scholars course where we teach kids how to use LinkedIn and Twitter in order to get scholarships and jobs and internships. We think this is very important. We know kids are going to be on social media. They love it. And there's a lot of positive benefits. So I took a lot of time of giving some industry secrets, some ways that they can really gain money and scholarships by using Twitter and LinkedIn, and I have it for a very low price, very affordable. If you go to our site, you see testimonials of some kids in college that got scholarships by using this course. So make sure you check that out. As always, make sure you tune in to the Digital Parent Podcast. Peace.